So, you see this pyramid, right? Back in the 80s in Russia, they had shot down some kind of UFO, and a pyramid just like this appeared over a town in Russia. It was wiped from the news articles and stuff. But this is what I mean by Vimanas, flying airships. This is also another function of some of the pyramids. This is what I'm talking about. You can say, CGI representation, whatever. But portals, right here, bow, with the pyramid that used to fly, aka Vimanas, like I was showing y'all, bow, this is just a representation. So you can see what some of them temples do and what some of them pyramids do. Yeah, and look where it's at. Above water. What? Aren't we in water? What? Y'all gonna be seeing something real soon. Y'all gonna be seeing stuff like this too. Watch.
What's up, everybody? I'm gonna try to make this as fast and as simple as possible. This guy right here, Robert Monroe, the godfather of consciousness. In the 1970s, he founded this place, the Monroe Institute. The Monroe Institute basically just studied consciousness, human consciousness, and how to get us into expanded states of consciousness. The CIA hired the Monroe Institute, if I'm not mistaken, in the 80s. Might have been before, but they hired them to actually train their soldiers in how to remote view. For those that don't know what remote viewing is, it's basically being able to see stuff that's not in your general area, whether it's far away, in the past, present, future, using your consciousness to see things that, aren't in your immediate vicinity. Now, a lot of people people always think stuff is woo-woo, all this mystical type stuff. It's not. All this stuff has a scientific backing to it, and here's a little quick video for y'all to watch about, how this applied to actual military operations.
He's like, this came from a psychic? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, he looked at it, and he looked at the report, and he's like, okay. So he wrote total fantasy on top of the report and sent it back to Joe and me. The engineer said the sub can't survive at depth. It's way too big. He's the only guy who thinks it's a sub. Yeah, well, your total fantasy launches in 112 days. Send it back to the Pentagon. Someone at the National Reconnaissance Office tasked a satellite to do a flyover, and they snapped pictures of the Red October submarine.
I would imagine that sparked a lot of interest in remote
with this stupid stuff. And I know a lot of y'all might have good hearts, but your heart ain't worth shit because you calcified in this world. There's so many so-called black sites and stuff talking about the black media, the black this and that, all that black is a fucking curse word, you dumb bastards. This why you can't get nothing. This why they beat your ass down, because you're a non-existent human. You said you're not human. The word black is something that's dead. So you around here talking about you black. And they playing you like a fool. And then you gotta go through that obstacle. Then you say you African American. So you got half your body over there, half your body over here. And they playing you like a fool. You the only dumb bastards in the fucking world. Every time you keep going around.
Night for me and you. So come here, baby, and let me do it to you. So what happened over time was that so much rejection. So like for every role that you get, you also get 50 rejections, right? I had a tight group of girlfriends, which I'm very proud of, that my friends from 13 to about, say, 35 or 36, like we rolled pretty deep, and they started all talking crap about me one night when I was off doing a movie, and they said, we just don't get it. Like, how did she make it? Like, she's not even pretty. This is a real conversation that they had. I've been marginalized in this trailer park piece of garbage, and it's like, wow, it's so funny because I've been accepted into Juilliard on a full ride ballet scholarship. I've traveled the world 5 times. I'm not white trash. is the gold juice, the elixir, the atonement, live forever, that I could have whatever I wanted. And I said, nothing in my life's come that easy for me. I'm not gonna drink some juice and then suddenly I have everything I've ever wanted. You don't treat people very well all the time on set. You're very cerebral, very different, very hard to like even navigate around. You've been very blessed. Like, what are you doing right now? Are you hiding something? Are you guilty about something? Are you making sure everyone's looking over there so they don't look over here, Terrence? I'll say it to his face. He knows how I feel. I asked him to pay me. I was never paid for that movie. Hustle and flow.
Close your eyes and tap this, right? Light. Just tap it. Right? Close your eyes as dark as you can get it. You don't see nothing, right? So let your eyes rest and relax. Let your eyes relax. Sit still, breathe. You should see a flashing. It should look like it's flashing right on your third eye, right? That tapping is helping to basically ease that electrical current. Close your eyes. I'll show you. Close your eyes. Tap. You should see it should look like flashing lights, like it should look like flashing. Now take your eyes and look up here while you tap it. You should start seeing your eyes do this. That's how you work on this. That's a training exercise for this. You can also put a blindfold on and take an object. So let's say this is the object, right?
Come in and whisper shit in your ear and telling you thoughts or low thoughts to make you feel depressed, and you thinking it's your own thoughts. And one day you'll be up, the next day you'll be down. You don't even know it. Be fucking entities in your shit, and you thinking it's your own thoughts. One day you just happy and shit. And you know, I see this. One day I was sitting down at the TV, and for a couple of minutes I started feeling negative. And you ever get to a point you just start feeling negative, and then when you think about it, you don't even know what you're feeling negative about? You ever think, you say, oh shit, I'm in trouble about something. And then you weigh it, you start feeling worried. And then you think about it, you say, goddamn, I ain't got nothing to be worried about. Not to the point where I don't have anything to be worried. You really can't find nothing that you were supposed to be worried about in the first place. That's the entities getting at you. You see what I'm saying? Getting at you. And then if you get weaker and weaker, so the masses, they don't know about that. So they just like open sex.
Not our son.
No cap, that really ain't our sun. Our sun is supposed to be a hexagrammatron and or a circle shape. It is neither one of those shapes at this moment. Finding number 1, why does the sun have a refresh rate like a fucking screen? Just keep watching it, you'll see. And since when is the sun a big ass white light? It's always either been yellow or orange. Look at that thing glowing. I ain't moving. The second finding is that it looks like a 1 billion watt light bulb. It looks like an LED bulb. And if you watch this video closely, you can actually see it refresh. It gets brighter and then it gets smaller. It's weird. It has a lemon shape to it. It's almost like you need a blue light filter out here.
Well, another thing my grandmother told me, y'all probably know this, was about how the FBI plants fake homeless people in places that would be ideal to be homeless, not only to push out other homeless people, kind of like when they tab the ears of feral cats and re-release them after neutering them, but they also did it to spy on people in particular places. My grandmother had a lot of methods of how you could tell which homeless people were the fake ones. I wish I had written this stuff down, but I know it has something to do with their shoes. I couldn't remember what she said, but it had something to do with their shoes. But she would show me certain ones, and also the ones that would live out of their cars. You could tell by the license plates, because they would have special plates, because they were actually government cars, even though you wouldn't know that if you looked at them at first glance. Now, I don't know if any of this is true, how true it is, but I've seen some substantial evidence that would make it make a lot of sense.
Y'all, Donald Trump is a Tartarian descendant. Take a look at his son, Barron Trump. And this is a year old, and it's just now going viral. He is 6'7" at the age of just 17. The Tartarian Empire is shrouded in mystery. Nobody really knows what happened to them. So some believe they could be thousands of years old. If not, they never even existed. But in this video, I'm going to show you proof that the Tartarian Empire actually did run much longer than anybody realized. And the theory that Trump actually does descend from the Tartarian Empire may not be so far-fetched after all. Let's start with this image that depicts the flags of all nations. It's allegedly a picture from an encyclopedia from 1865. You can see here, it even has a pirate's flag of nations. So, pirates were actually represented as a nation as late as 1865. And what's odd is that's basically all I could find out about this image. There really isn't much information out there on it. It was authenticated as being from an encyclopedia from 1865. So it is valid, and it does represent the nations of the world. And if you haven't noticed why the internet has been buzzing about it, is take a look here. It has a flag representing the nation of Tartary. Well, I don't know about you, but I find it odd that a flag of nations picture actually depicts the flag of Tartary. If it didn't exist, or if it existed in a prior time, then why would they have it on an image representing 1865? And what's more odd is look what it's right next to. A flag of nations representing allegedly China. Now this flag is really a mystery. Yes, it says it represents China, but there isn't much information beyond that. It's very hard to find any information at all on this flag. Nobody knows exactly its origins, but I find it odd they set it up right next to Tartary. So if you take the time and go back to look up old maps of Tartaria, or the Grand Tartary, it seems to cover almost all of Asia. There are many that believe the Tartarian Empire even spilled over to the United States and covered most of it at one time. This is where the world fairs come in. Many theorize that these world fairs that were held across the entirety of the United States. The United States had the most world fairs of any country in the world. Dozens of them, showing off new technologies such as moving sidewalks, light shows. This was back in the 1800s when it was just horse and buggy to get around. The buildings were ornate and beautiful. They looked like ancient Rome. The structures were colossal, some of them housing 300,000 people. As you can see behind me, the lights were absolutely amazing. And you're telling me they got all this power and they ran it from the Niagara Falls? I find that hard to believe. To me, they're utilizing another source of power, some sort of free wireless energy. So they had these world fairs and they brought in adult orphans to allegedly repopulate the country and showed them the capabilities of humankind. Many believe they had been here for hundreds, if not thousands of years from a previous civilization. Really, nobody knows what happened to them. It's almost as if they just vanished off the face of the planet. That's what's so peculiar about the Flag of Nations that was made in 1865, showing the Tartarian flag. Did Tartary exist up till 1865? And if so, where did they go? Why is there no remnants of their history? There's virtually nothing in the history books pertaining to them, and nobody's been taught anything about them. They're ghosts. And then the video I found on the internet that showed what I believe is the citizens of Tartary at the World Fairs or before the World Fairs. You can see here, this gentleman right here, standing next to him. That guy has got to be close to 7 feet tall. And then the one right below him, standing next to him. That gentleman is also close to 7 feet tall. These people are much taller than the average size male back then in the 1800s. A closer look. This gentleman towers the other gentleman. I believe that is the normal size gentleman and he is a Tartarian. The video, I believe, depicts one of the last videos of the Tartarians. These gentlemen right here, tower over everybody around them. And I can't find any type of military that have these same uniforms in history. Then take a look at this gentleman right here. Towers over the rest of the band. I believe they could be from Tartaria. This guy is a mammoth. Back in the 1800s, when people were supposedly not very tall. In the no history books whatsoever do they talk about a nation that has that colossal size, especially back then. They've always convinced us that people are taller than they've ever been, which simply isn't true. The question we should be asking ourselves is, why would they go to such extremes to keep a nation suppressed, along with their history? Because after the World Fairs, they demolished all of the beautiful buildings allegedly were built just for the World Fairs in a matter of years. It just seems suspect. Did these people have super advanced technology for the 1800s? And this technology included free energy for everyone? And my big question is, what happened to them? How did they just disappear off the map? Where did they go? Nevertheless, if you watch these people move and watch their gait, they seem very tall, especially this gentleman in the front. Look at that guy. Compared to the rest, he's a giant. His gait is similar to that of our boy, Barron Trump. This kid is a giant. He is huge. 6'7" at the age of 17. Where does that height come from? And it's funny because I've discussed this with my girlfriend. They say that in legend and lore from the outside worlds, sometimes people or descendants of ours come to our land to try and help influence us to be better, to reach for higher heights, enlighten us, to help us become better versions of what we can be, to find our true destiny, and to act like humans are meant to act. Oftentimes, notable figures in our society are alleged to come from beyond the ice wall. They come back because they care about humanity. Because as humans, we are not meant to hate. We're not meant to be jealous. We're not meant to hurt each other. We're meant to love each other. A so-called white hat society that is for the good of the people and the good of this land. So what do you think? Could Trump be from outside the ice walls? Is it possible? Or could they be of Tartarian descendant? This is just me spitballing. You never know. It's hard to say. But it's crazy that his son is this tall. He is huge. And it's crazy because they've managed to keep it kind of a secret until now. It's starting to become more mainstream that he's so damn tall. And I've heard that he's kind and he's a gentle giant, very kind kid, and a good kid. So what do y'all think? Stay in the love, stay in the light. Be kind to others. I am out.
I had to redo this video. Look in the background at these men, Bill Clinton being one, and how he cannot control himself. His eyes say it all. Look at this. You're listening to Mr. DX, my commentary and or video reaction. If you would like to see and hear more, follow and subscribe to my website.
Illuminati, watch this.
What's the biggest opportunity you've received and passed on so far?
The Illuminati. I promise y'all, the Illuminati hit me up and they was like, yo, what's up? And I was like, pass. They was like, we got you. I was like, pass. That's like something that a lot of people probably would jump at. And I don't know how deep that stuff go, but yeah.
How was that asked? How was that opportunity presented?
You want to be down with this secret society? You want to be down with us? Basically, it was like they mean business. They were like, they wanted me. They seen something, I don't know, but.
Like a person approaches you about this?
Yeah.
It's not something sent in a DM type of thing?
Nah.
Are there repercussions for turning it down?
I don't think so. Nah. I'm a positive person. I attract positive things to me. So no. Mm-mm.
And you chose not to join because?
I don't.
You passed.
I don't want to be a part of something that I don't understand.
This celebrity explains.
See black eyes like Blueface and shit like that. He got beat up, but he didn't get beat up where you thought he got beat up. He got beat up somewhere else. Okay, and so the eyes come out, and they call them panda eyes.
Here we go, story time. Okay, so I was focused on the dolphin to the right of me, and then when I looked at the footage, I said, what is that to the left? Got in closer, turns out that's something else. So it all started with me paddling out to catch waves, of course, in the ocean, and I'm seeing something past the lineup, looking around, so I got closer and stood up on my board or sat up on my board to take a better view. I started waving at them because I'm happy to always see dolphins. So I turned my board around, back it up to get a little closer. And as you see, there's one popping out of the water. There was actually several popping out of the water. You can't see that sighting of the mermaid or merman in the water, but you see some activity going on very slowly. So whatever
Muhammad, can you please tell me why it's blacks who are killing hundreds of thousands of blacks in Rwanda and other places? And can you please tell me why from Haiti, blacks from Haiti are just risking their lives to come here to the United States of America?
I'll tell you if I get a chance. Black people have been robbed, as I said earlier, of a knowledge of self. And when you rob people, sir, of a knowledge of self, then it means that they start to take on the characteristics and the nature of their oppressor and their colonizer. And his mind, by automatic, systematic, remote control, rules in our people. He gives them the guns and the weapons and the drugs and the alcohol, the way you did our brothers, the red man and the red woman, brothers and sisters, the way you did our Latino brothers and sisters, and then you pit one against the other and then say, look at what these people are doing.
Do you know why Prince, the famous rock star that was a friend of mine, do you know why he called himself the artist when he came back? He calls himself the artist because that's what they call us in our contracts. Oh, these contracts are crazy. You should hear the terminology they say in these contracts. To use your name and likeness in perpetuity throughout the universe. Who the fuck could possibly know what that means? Nobody does.
Do you agree with what he is saying? Could there be a darker side to these contracts that these artists sign, or is Dave Chappelle making it up? TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only.
It's so complicated, in fact, that when you're a kid like me, you have to hire somebody to tell you what that means. And you sit down at a table and you do the contract game. And that's how I got with Comedy Central. I signed a contract. But I signed the contract the way that a 28-year-old expectant father that was broke signs a contract. I was desperate, I needed a way out, and it wasn't good money, and it wasn't good circumstances, but what else am I gonna do, I said. And all these white people sitting at that table told me, trust us, Dave, it's a good contract. And I looked around the table, and they all seemed to agree it was a good contract. But what if it was like that game of three-card Monte? What if they were all friends and I didn't know it?
That in America, they put a state of fear into people to where they they want to consider probably martial law probably one of these few years that's coming up.
NDAA.
But the thing is, people that's learned the knowledge of what's going on,
it's coming, baby.
It's gonna be hell. Them little drones ain't no joke. I personally seen them blow some Arabs up. I've been in Iraq many a time with them things, so they ain't no joke.
And what they getting ready for in America? Yeah, say what you just said.
Like they gonna break us off. Say what you just said.
Well, with the FEMA camps and everything built up, and it's all over the YouTube, bases and everything. You know, we've been practicing riot control. You know,
right?
So
like the brother
if
said,
y'all think y'all gonna go out here and do some thing, and they call in the big boys. Hey, I'm gonna be on that cruise line up in the wilderness somewhere because I don't want no part of it.
Right?
You know?
See, we ain't gonna have no parts of that shit either. That's why we out here trying to warn our people. See, the brother taking heed, and he telling y'all he in the army. He telling y'all it's coming. Oh well, our job is done. All right.
Yeah, you got the number, brother. I'm on my little 24th year, so I'm in retirement stage. So I'm not gonna be wearing army green. I'm just gonna pack up my survival stuff and go ahead and hit that wilderness so I can take the next 3.5 years to the. I'm jumping ship, bro. I ain't about to go do that.
If you come into this, you ain't got to
You
worry
be
about
good.
That.
Oh, I know that.
You ain't got to have nothing.
Well,
according to the Bible. But we gonna leave it.
Hey,
we gonna show you more.
Hey, I know trees gonna sprout up and everything. We gonna have our little mango trees and everything chilling and everything. But I just like to keep my ladder lit, you know, with some oil, fresh oil. Just in case, you know.
All right.